Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today we have with us Pricilla Kumah, who will be sharing her nursing experience here in the United States. Now, I know a lot of my fellow Jamaicans, you might be wondering what route you can take to get that international nursing experience. Well, today is the day for you because Pricilla Kumah will be sharing with us all that she knows. And we are so excited to have her. Thanks for joining, Pricilla. We are looking forward to an awesome interview with you where all viewers can learn something, reach out to you for additional information because Pricilla is also a YouTuber. We will be sharing her information also, and you can get more information on that nursing experience if that's something you would like to do. Now, before we go into it, we want to take the time to thank those who are watching today. And for those who have not seen the previous videos on the IAG International Teacher Recruitment Drive, you need to check that out. International Alliance Group is having a teacher recruitment drive for teachers, and they want all teachers, specifically Caribbean teachers, Jamaica, look out. They will be coming there. They want to recruit teachers to come and teach in so many different states here in the United States. And so you have an option. I know a lot of you are limited with the sponsors who sponsor for just one or two states. Well, IAG sponsors teachers for several states. So if you did not watch that video, check that video out and learn more about IAG Recruitment Drive. All right, we're going to go straight to Miss Kumah. Again, thanks for coming. And again, guys, all the way from Africa and now here in the United States, doing her thing. And she has a YouTube platform with a lot of followers. That means she's sharing really good information. So this is somewhere you need to be also. Thanks for coming, Pricilla, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So my name is Pricilla. Thank you once again for gracing my show. Most of my viewers have seen you on my channel, and I believe some of them have come over to your end. My name is Pricilla Kumah. As you rightly said, I come from Ghana, West Africa, and I live in New York State. I've been a nurse for about 12 years, and I love to share nursing content. So my channel name right on the screen there, Pricilla Kumah RN. So basically, I talk about how to work as a nurse in America as an international nurse. So yeah, I'm here to share all the information they need.
All right, thank you very much. So Pricilla, can you tell us back home what inspired you to come to work here in the United States as a nurse?
Okay. So for me, luckily for me, I was dating somebody who lived in the US and we got married years back. Our anniversary was just a couple of days ago. So he filed for me and brought me on a spousal visa. So I came to the US through my husband. But unfortunately for me, I did not know I could have even started the nursing process before coming into the US. So I got into the US. It took me about 2 years to figure out how to work in USA. And I did, and I've been helping people since. So yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. But you did not know initially, but then you learned how to do it and you've been helping other nurses ever since. Awesome. Awesome way of giving back. So can you tell the viewers who would be interested what steps can they take if they're seeking an international nursing position here in the United States?
Okay. Thank you. So the process to work in US is a very long one, very lengthy. It's very stressful. It's capital intensive, very expensive, and you need a lot of patience to be able to do it. And
yes.
on top of that, you need to do a lot of research. You need to read a lot. America has 50 states, and every state has its own rules and regulations because a state is like a country on its own. So you need to research the state that you want and read all the requirements before you even start the process. If you're lucky to know somebody in the US who has gone through the process, you're lucky. If you have someone like me in my channel where I share the information, you can use that as your research as well. So basically, if you want to work in a different country, they want to see whether you have the qualifications. They want to see your certificates. They want to see your paperwork. And that is what they call credential evaluation. You have to evaluate your credential, and it cuts across board. So far as you did not school in the USA, whether you're a teacher, you're a pharmacist, you're an engineer, they want to see your documents and want to see if that education you received outside the US matches the American standard. So credential evaluation is done by almost everybody. Even if you want to go to school, some of the schools demand you do an evaluation first, translate your transcripts before they will see if you can continue your education. So basically, the first step for an international nurse after doing all your research and deciding, yes, I want to do this, is credential evaluation. And it goes hand in hand with the board registration. When I say board, the licensure you take to write, the licensure you take to be able to work in USA is called NCLEX, NCLEX. Without a nursing license, you cannot practice nursing in America and everywhere else. Nursing is a profession that demands license. So you need to prove that you have a nursing license to practice wherever you are going. So that nursing license for America is called NCLEX, NCLEX, and I'm sure most of you have heard about it.
Yes.
It's very difficult and it's very scary to take. It is a very professional, tactical examination, and you need some skills to prepare for that. So the state will tell you which evaluation company to use. We have so many evaluation companies. We have CGFNS, we have Spatran, we have ERES, so many credential evaluation services. But before you decide which one you use, you want to know what the state wants you to use. So let's say, for instance, New York State will tell you that use the evaluator called CGFNS. So if you go and use Patron, they're not going to accept it. So first, do the research on the state board's website, see the evaluator they want you to use, and then you go back to that evaluator's website and read the requirements for an internationally trained nurse. Then you will now give them the documents they need. So CGFNS is what I use, so I'll refer to that a lot. And that's what most people know about. They are very overwhelmed. They are very lengthy. You can't even get to them. There are other ones that work faster, but people don't know about them. I actually encourage people to run away from CGFNS because it takes so long. As I said, it took me 2 years to get my paperwork and everything done. There are other evaluators you can use. So if you're using CGFNS, almost all the evaluators will want two things from you. They want your academic transcript, the school you had your nursing education. That school has to send your transcripts, your clinical hours, and your theory hours. And they also want a professional document from your nursing and midwifery council. I don't know how you call it in Jamaica, but every country has their nursing body that you are a member of. They give you the license. They let you take the examination. Yes. So one from your school that you had your nursing education back in the day, and also transcripts and a proof that you are really a registered nurse in your home country, Jamaica. Then those documents, you gather them, you will not be the one to send them to the evaluator. Your school will endorse it, put it in an envelope and seal it and stamp it. That shows that it's not been tampered with.
Right.
And mail it via courier service, DHL, FedEx, anything that any courier service you have around your country. And they will mail it to USA. But mind you, the evaluator would make you create an online account. So every process that is ongoing, you have to log into your online account and see where your documents have reached. When they receive it, they will update the portal and say, we've received your documents and it is under review. So anything you want, you need to log in online and follow the documents. So unfortunately, most of us, when we go to our schools and our nursing councils to get documents, everything is manual, everything is paperwork, it's so expensive, it's stressful. You go and the dean or the tutor is not in the office and you have to be going up and down till you finally get your documents. And that's what causes delay. That is the part that causes a lot of delay for all applicants. So let's get all the documents, they received it, they review all your documents and generate a report. The report should say that your education matches the American standard. Without this process, you cannot just get up and write NCLEX. You cannot just take the licensure without a report that says your education is okay. When the evaluator, example CGFNS, says it's okay, they will send that report to the state that you chose, the State Board of Nursing. So we chose New York State Board of Nursing, California State Board of Nursing, Virginia State Board of Nursing. They'll send that report to the state that you chose yourself. There are so many tricks in choosing a state. You shouldn't choose a state because your friend is there or your boyfriend is there or your wife is there. Some states are not friendly to international nurses.
Right.
Their requirements are very hard. Some want a American house address from you. Some want a social security number from you. You do not live here. So be very careful in choosing a state. If not, you'll be stranded.
Right.
Yeah. So they send the report to New York Board of Nursing. That Board of Nursing will also review the reports and see whether everything is okay. And that board will give you a letter saying that, yes, you are good to go. Go and register and take your NCLEX. Then there's a company that organizes professional examinations. It's called Pearson VUE. They organize a lot of examinations online for doctors, nurses, engineers, and all. Pearson VUE. So you now go to Pearson VUE and register to take NCLEX. When you live in USA, Pearson registration is $200. When you live outside the USA, there's an international fee of $150. So it's going to cost you $350 to register and take the NCLEX. In taking the NCLEX, it's an online examination, but you have to go in person to an office to take it. You can't sit at home and take it. You have to go to an NCLEX center. Right. So when you go to Pearson VUE website, you see a list of centers you can take NCLEX. For those watching from Africa, the only place you can take it is South Africa. But if you're in America, you can take it in all the states. If you're in UK, you can take it in London. You can take it in Mexico, Philippines. I don't know if Jamaica has a center in there.
But I assume they must have one. Yeah.
Yeah. So just go to Pearson VUE and just key in your location, and they'll tell you all the centers around you. You go and register, you go in and take the examination. 48 hours later on, you can find out online whether you passed. All the stories I've told you, it's not as simple as I've summarized it. Some states require you to take an English proficiency test. And there are some states that don't require that. If you already live in US and you are watching us, you want to use a state that does not require English test. Example, IELTS. OET, Cambridge, there are so many English tests. Even the type of English test you're going to take, the state board has to tell you, take this one. If you take OET and they don't accept OET, you've wasted your time and your money.
Right.
So you should always go to the state board's website, read, because they always change stuff. They're always updating stuff. What I did years back is not what is going on now. So you want to go to the state website and read what type of English test is accepted. If you are living outside the USA, you cannot skip the English test requirement.
Wow.
Because you need the results, the IELTS or OET or Cambridge test results to be able to process your visa. There's something called visa screen certificate. And for you to get visa screen certificate, there are two things they need from you. One is your NCLEX results, and one is your English test results. You add it and pay an amount before they'll give you a certificate called visa screen certificate. This is what the immigration will be asking you. So if you live outside the USA, you need English test to process your immigration documents. Yes. So all this process is cumbersome. That is why I decided to set up a consult called USRN Pathway Consult.
Right.
We have a website as well, www.usrn. RN stands for Registered Nurse, pathwayconsult.com. I help people I groom you, show you the way, and you are able to do this process. It takes a while. It's expensive. To even evaluate your documents with the CGFNS evaluator is $420. For CGFNS evaluation alone is $420. And if you go to your school to get the forms, and the school is going to charge you before they endorse the form for you. Let's say they don't even take any money from you. You're going to pay for the courier service. You're going to pay for DHL. You're going to pay for FedEx before. So it depends on your country and how much they will charge you for bringing your documents to the USA. So it's capital intensive, but at the end of it, it's going to be very worth it. Yeah. So if you initiate this process, because of how tactical the NCLEX examination is, you need some study materials. You need tuition. People go for online tuition, in-person tuition. People buy books. The books are expensive. You need to study. It is not the same nursing education we had in our home countries. Ghana is not so different from Jamaica. So I know how our nursing education system looks like. It is entirely different. American nursing is very gadget, technology, and the machines you have not seen before. Yes. Ventilator, CPAP, bladder scanner, whatever. But those are the things you are going to be writing the examination about. So how can you write an examination about something you have never seen before? Yeah. So here comes the YouTube videos that you can watch and see how to answer some of these questions. Because mind you, all the answers are right, but you have to choose the most accurate. All the answers are right, but you have to choose the most accurate, and you have to choose the one you do first. If a patient is down on the floor, you enter the room and they are on the floor unresponsive, what will you do? One will say, call the doctor. One will say, call for help. One will say, check if the person has a pulse. One will say, start CPR. You all are correct. Yes. You have to know which one to prioritize. Yes. Because we don't work in such an environment and the settings, we don't know how, and you need someone to professionally coach you. Yes. So I'll pause here, and if you have any questions, we can take it.
Okay. So I'm not a nurse, but I'm following, and I know you mentioned CGFSN. That's the accrediting body that they're gonna get their credentials evaluated with. Mm-hmm. They choose in CGFSN which state they want to send that to, which state nursing body they want to send that to. Mm-hmm. Okay. You also mentioned that some nursing body back home in Jamaica. Do Jamaicans need to first have a license in Jamaica to be able to come to work here as a nurse in the United States?
Yeah. So it's possible to work here without having a license, but for an international nurse, they would ask you for license back home. They will ask you to be a nurse from your home country first, have a license to prove that you are a nurse before you even come here. And it also helps you because if they want work experience, obviously to have a license, you might be working to keep your license active. So you already have that requirements that they want. The employer would rather give the job to somebody who has been a nurse for 10 years than somebody who finished nursing school today and hasn't written their home country's license yet. And
so I have a question. Mm-hmm. In Jamaica, I know we have our PCAs. You know what a PCA is.
Yes.
So a PCA is basically working in our public hospitals back home in Jamaica, and they are studying to become RN. So you're working as a PCA, so you're getting that nursing experience and other experience. While we study in Jamaica as a nurse, I know this for a fact because my sister is studying now to be a nurse. You do all these experiences where you have to be on site at a hospital practicing as a nurse. That's experience you're gaining there. Are those counted as experiences?
Okay. So I mentioned when you're doing your evaluation, the professional body has to send a document and your school has to send a document. If you are in nursing school, you do clinical hours and you do theory hours. You go for lectures, that's theory hours. Clinical hours, the school puts you all in a bus and you drive to a hospital and you stay there for 6 weeks. You go to medical ward, you go to surgical units, you go to all these units. Those are clinical hours you acquired whilst you were a nursing student. And those things would let you write the licensure for your home country. Then It is only after completing a program, if it's a 2-year program or a 4-year program, before you get a license and be called a nurse in your country. Without finishing nursing school, you are not a nurse. Without getting license, you are not a nurse. So with that license, now you go find a job and be working as a nurse. So when I finished school, I said it's been almost 12 years now. I've been a nurse for 12 years. I did not count my nursing school days. I counted the day I got my license and I started my first job as a nurse. It's been 12 years.
Okay.
So if you are doing your evaluation in America, that is what you'll be putting on paper. The day you got your license, they want the date.
Okay.
And the nursing body has to confirm that truly we gave Pricilla this license on this date. So the PCA is the same as a PCT, patient care technician, or is the same as a CNA, certified nurse assistant. You are not a registered nurse.
Okay.
A registered nurse has to have a 3-year diploma or a 4-year bachelor's from a nursing college. So 3-year diploma in my country, Ghana, you get it from a nursing training college.
Right.
4-year bachelor's, BSN, you get it from a nursing school with a university, a college, college degree. That is a 4-year bachelor's degree or a 3-year diploma as a registered nurse. PCA don't have a license to be called a registered nurse. They just assist. Their role is to just assist the nurse and other clinical team members. For somebody to be a registered nurse, they should have gotten 3-year diploma or a 4-year degree. I know LPNs in America here do 2 years, and they're LPNs, licensed practical nurse. I'm sure you might have that as well. Any questions?
Yeah. So she basically has to finish studying for her RN first and get her license in Jamaica. In addition to that, some experience as a nurse working on a license before she can think about the process of nursing here in the United States.
Yes.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yes. But because of COVID shortage, now the companies are not, the recruiters, the hospitals are not really strict on work experience. They are looking for nurses everywhere. So now you can finish nursing school today, get your license by the afternoon time, start your process and get a job. They would train you. They would definitely train you. Trust me.
Because that was another question. What if as soon as she finished and has that license? Okay, so good. I'm glad you touched on that.
Yeah.
Because they have a nurse shortage.
Yes.
All right. I know you told us some figures. You mentioned the PSNVE. You say that's a body that they go to register to do the NCLEX. Mm-hmm. So they pay $350 if they're outside of the United States. So the $350 is for the NCLEX exam.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And you say it's a difficult exam. It can be done back home in Jamaica. They're going to go to a center and in 48 hours time, they get the results.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. I hope you guys are learning something because I'm learning. I'm not a nurse, but I'm getting some good information and I'm learning from it. You did mention that it's very expensive. And I know you're talking about doing the NCLEX. And I know there are other exams that they might need to do. Is there any other exams they need to do?
The English test.
The English test, yes. You didn't mention the English test. You say once they're not here, they have to do the English test. I know the IELTS. I don't like IELTS.
Nobody.
Which English test you recommend?
Okay, so the states would tell you which one to take. As I said,
okay.
Yes. I said, if you go and take OET, it's one of the English tests, and New York does not accept OET, then you can't use it. So before you do anything, you want to always be studying the state's board website. Yes. Every state has a nursing board website. California State Board of Nursing, Ohio State Board of Nursing. You have to study what the requirements are for an internationally educated nurse. Mm-hmm. And if they will tell you that we accept this type of English test, they will list them. So you have to choose one.
Yes, choose one of those.
One of those. Yeah. If you write a different one, they would not accept it.
I want to talk back some more about the credentialing body. I know with teachers, we have a lot of, you see, like you say, the
CGFNS. So the C, I think, is commonly for graduates. G is a graduate. CGFNS, Committee for Graduate Foreign Nurses, something like that. I'll send you all the link you put in the video.
Joe, I want to know, are they the only accrediting body for international nurses?
No.
Okay.
So we have a few, and I'll give you about 3 that are very popular, people have used that I know. So they are the biggest name. When any nurse wants to come to America, that is what they hear about. So that's what
Okay.
Yes.
And they're accepted in the entire country.
Yes.
Okay, maybe that's why. That's why.
Yes. So they, as every state would accept a report from CGFNS.
Okay.
They've been doing this for years, and they are renowned. They have the monopoly. Every state will accept a report from them.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some other ones. There's one called ERES. Mind you, all these companies also do for, if you want to school education, they can do academic evaluation for you. But if you're a nurse, if you want to work in America, you are doing a professional evaluation.
Professional.
Yes. But if you're a nurse and you want to go to school, you're a teacher, you want to go to school, you are doing academic evaluation. If you're coming to America to study abroad, it's academic evaluation. But if you're coming to work here in the USA as a nurse, working to get a working visa, you are doing professional evaluation.
Okay.
You're taking a professional examination. Yes.
Okay, thanks for that. All right, so my next question is, can you share with us some programs? Because I know and I'm going to always go back to teaching. We have a lot of sponsors that sponsors teachers to come here. Can you share with us, are there sponsors here that sponsors nurses to come here, and what type of visa they offer if they are sponsors to these international nurses?
Okay, that's a very good question. I would say that there are about 2 main ways to come work in America. Number one, you either find a sponsor, which is called a recruitment agency, or you do the process by yourself. They all have their pros and cons. If you use a sponsor or if you use you do it by yourself. So there are agencies that recruit nurses, that recruit international nurses. There are so many agencies because nursing is like the biggest market now. People are recruited from everywhere. Philippines exports healthcare. Philippines group nurses and just to supply them to America. That is what the country depends on. So yes, a company called Avant, A-V-A-N-T. Avant is one of the big recruiters, A-V-A-N-T. They recruit international nurses. There's one called Visa Solution. They recruit nurses. There's one called Connectis. C-O-N-N-E-T-I-C-S. Connectics. They recruit international nurses. There's one called OGP. O'Grady. O-G-R-A-D-Y. O'Grady Peyton. P-E-Y-T-O-N. They recruit international nurses. And some of them don't go to certain countries. For instance, they won't go to India because India has a backlog of visa issue. So if they go and find a nurse, there are so many nurses in India who have passed NCLEX 10 years ago and they can't come here.
Wow.
There's a backlog of visa issues. So based on the country you are coming from and the population that already live in the USA, your chances are less. There are so many Indians in America. There are so many Nigerians in America. So the companies are not going to those areas. They are going to small countries, Ghana, Morocco. They are going to those countries. Yeah, so Avant, Connectis, O'Grady Python, Visa Solution. There are so many. Safeway, there are so many recruiters out there. So some of them will say we'll do everything for you. When you come here, you are bonded to us. For 2 to 3 years, you'll be bonded. Yeah. So most of these recruiters, let's say there are 2 types of recruiters. One of them will sponsor everything for you, and then you'll be bonded to them.
Yeah.
When I mean bonded, I mean that they'll bring you to America, you still be under their control for 2 to 3 years. You have to serve those contract hours before they'll free you to go. Also, there's another recruiter who will do direct hire for you. When I mean direct hire, what I mean is that They will give you directly to the hospital and you will not be bonded to them. You need to read the contract very well and see what this agency is offering before you sign it. I cannot emphasize this enough. You need to read very well and see what they are offering. Some of these program sponsors are just like self-sponsorship in disguise. If the whole process costs about $4,000, they are only paying like $1,500, $1,500, and you have to pay the rest. So you might as well just do the whole thing by yourself. So the recruiters come in, you apply to them, you qualify, they interview you, they let you send your document, and they take what we call the permanent residency. You get that. And after 5 years, you can start your citizenship process. So
those are the agencies like Avanti, Visa, Connectix, O'Grady, and Safeway.
Yes. Any recruiter bringing nurses to America is giving you a green card. Unlike the teaching option where you come in and you have to go out because you're on contract basis, sort of. No HB1, nothing like that.
Yeah.
The nurses is a green card. It's a permanent one. That is a good thing. If you are going to UK, they don't give you that. They keep you on a working visa for 5 years until you do your paperwork to stay there. But America, the upper hand, the edge America has, the attractiveness is because you get a green card to live in America for the rest of your life.
Yes.
And the good thing is that your spouse and your children below 21 years qualify.
Mm-hmm.
So the recruiter will bring your spouse and your kids that are below 21 years to America. And that is the good part of this process.
All right, so that's if you go with a recruitment agency, but if you try to do it by yourself, then what are you going to come on a visa?
So what you can do by yourself is all the paperwork till you write the NCLEX and you pass the NCLEX. Then you sponsored yourself. You did all this process by yourself and wrote the examination and passed it. So you apply to the recruiters. I said there are two types of recruiters. One who starts from scratch with you. You have nothing, you've not done anything at all, and they'll groom you to the end and they bond you. The other recruiter is looking for people who are outside the USA who have passed the NCLEX examination, and they would give you a direct hire. They can bring you to my hospital where I work here in New York, and you become the staff of the hospital. Whatever I'm getting, you get the same thing. Because you did your own.
You're not bonded.
Yes.
And you have to pay a lot of money. You have to pay them a lot of money, right?
So no, you do not pay them a lot of money. The recruiters have a contract with the hospitals in America. The hospitals are short, they need nurses, so they go to Evans. Evans, we need 100 nurses. 50 have to be psychologists, mental health nurses, 50 have to be whatever. Give me 100 nurses. This is your budget for the job. Just find me your nurses. So now Evans goes to Africa or wherever to find nurses. Yes.
Okay.
So the hospital has already paid them to find nurses. So you are not paying any recruiter to bring you to America. If anybody says, pay me to bring you to America, it's a scam and you have to run away.
Yes.
Yes, but the process is not entirely free. If they are grooming you from scratch, they will say, pay your own CGFNS for $20. Then you have to pay that.
Yes.
You shouldn't be paying anybody money to bring you to America. Your job is to do the whole paperwork by yourself, pass NCLEX, then you have a lot of bargaining power. You can apply to 5 direct hire recruiters. If this one will say, I'm giving you a sign-up bonus of $20,000. This one will say, I'm giving you a free accommodation for the first 3 months. This one will say, I'm bringing your kids and your whatever. You will now have a chance to choose whatever one works best for you. That is the advantage of self-sponsor. But if you don't know the process is so stressful, cumbersome, you have to do all the research by yourself, or you cannot afford, then you have to go to the agencies. I always tell people that run away from the agency as much as you can, because I have a friend who is signed up with one of the agencies and she's pretty much paying for almost everything. She could have done self-sponsor, write the NCLEX, and then find a direct hire job. The recruiters are there, 2 types. One is looking for someone who has passed NCLEX. One is there to groom you from scratch to you pass. And their pay rates are not the same because they spend money on you. This can take as long as 2 to 3 years. This whole thing I've talked about.
Let me see if I understand this, because I know my Jamaicans are going to be saying, let me get this clear. 2 types of agencies. One that's going to groom you from scratch, that's going to bond you. The next one, they're searching for nurses who already passed NCLEX, and they will give you a direct hire in any hospital. And then you have your own direct hire where you sponsor yourself. And you're saying your friend, she signed up with an agency, but she's paying a lot of money. Was that the one that started from scratch, or was it the one
from scratch?
So you would recommend nurses to go to the ones who are seeking nurses who already have their NCLEX. That's better.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't encourage anybody to go by themselves either, because then they're going to come on a visa and not a green card. So get all your paperwork done, do your NCLEX, and find an agency that's searching for teachers who have all their documents already and just going to place you in a nursing job.
Yes.
Okay.
You said teachers, but nurses, because I know you talk to teachers a lot. That's okay.
You know why I'm nurses. Yes. You know why I'm saying teachers. All right. So I think you've answered all my questions. I have just one thing. I don't know if Ghana is like this, but Jamaicans, money is very is very important to them. They want to know about money. How much will I be paid? Don't give us a specific figure, but give us like a scale, like a pay scale. For example, a nurse who just left nursing school, or a nurse with 5 years experience.
Okay, good. Money is important. Money makes the world go round. Money stops all BS. So money is very important. And we need to know how much we earn. Out there on the internet, I'm sure every nurse has seen American nurses are paid so well.
Yes.
By the way, not every American nurse is paid well. I always say I'm not paid well. There's something called travel nursing.
Yes.
Travel nurses are the ones who are making the big money you see on the internet.
Wow.
There are two types of nurses. You are either at one place, one job. This is your job. You go there Monday to Friday. That is your job. The travel nurse moves around within her state or outside her state. If I sign up for a travel agency job now, I will just get out from New York and appear in California, Ohio, and do a 13-month contract. I can take a break, or I can go on my next contract. That is travel nursing. You don't get any benefits from the hospital. You don't get insurance from them. You don't get any tuition benefit package, nothing from them. But you can make as high as $20,000 a month. Yes. Yeah. If you're working somewhere in California when they are paying you about $100 to $120 an hour, COVID time, people were making crazy money. Imagine if you do even 6 days a week. 12-hour shift for 6 days with just 1 day off. What can't you make? Yes, but you have to buy your own insurance. Travel nursing is attractive, but it's not meant for everybody.
Yes.
If you have younger kids, your kid is like 6 months and you're pregnant again, or you just someone like me who just joined my husband after many years of distance relationship. This is not a time for me to carry my bag and go to California to search money. So travel nursing is good. I always advise my fellow international nurses that don't just come to America and start working as a travel nurse. American nursing is very different, extremely different. You would feel like you've never been to nursing school in your life. Just so you know, get ready.
Yes.
Then travel nursing, you are thrown in a very unknown environment. You are going to a hospital where you don't have staff members. You don't know where you are going to be placed. They take you into an environment where you don't have any skills, and the staff members are not going to help you. All the travel nurses who come to my job, I don't help them. How should I help you? You make 4 or 5 times my salary. Yes. So yeah, we're not going to help you. We'll just watch you suffer. And besides, after 12 weeks, you're never going to see me again ever in your life. So they are not committed. They come in, they do horrible nursing, and they go away because, after all, this is not my job. They don't have any ties to the ward or the units they are on. So that is travel nursing money. You can make as high as $70 to $100 an hour. The rate in COVID time was a lot, but it has come down. People are making 60, 70, 50. There are 2 types of travel nursing. There's local travel nursing, and there's travel nursing where you carry your luggage and move to a different state and do contracts. Local travel nursing means that I live in New York, I live here in my house, but I drive like 40 minutes drive to go and work in some hospital an hour away and all. Your mileage determines how much they give you. Some will give you accommodation, travel stipend, and all. So if you can't go far out of state, you can still do local travel, but build your skills before you attempt travel nursing.
Yes.
I have seen travel nurses who came because they wanted the money and they struggle. We don't help you. We throw you in a very awkward environment. The patient assignments we give you are harder than what they give their staff. If you have a patient that has a lot of care, that's what we're going to give you because what? You're making 4 times what I make as a staff nurse.
Yes.
Okay. So, unfortunately, those of us who were employed before COVID, our salary is nothing good to write home about, but it sounds big if you convert it into your currency in Jamaica.
Yes.
And you will say, why is she being ungrateful? Yeah. Anyway, I made a video on my channel where I talk about how much I earn. I earn between $34.5 to $35.5 an hour. If you convert it, it looks big, but that is the cost of living. Some factors affect salary. The state you are in, the cost of living of the city you are in, those things affect salary.
Yes.
So somebody who lives in New York City, I live in New York State. I'm so far from New York City. There are nurses there who are equally making like $90 an hour, $100 an hour. We are all in the same state, and I'm making barely $35 an hour. But their cost of living, they get a small studio and rent is like $3,000. And here, that $3,000 can get me a whole 4 or 5 bedroom house. So cost of living matters. People always ask me, what do you advise? Where should I live? If you are young, single, free, go to the big city, make money, give yourself some timeline. 5 years, I'm doing this and get out. Yes. But if you're married, you have kids and all that, you want a house, the green, the serene, get out, be in the outskirts of the bigger city. You don't want traffic. You don't want to be raising kids on a penthouse, 54th floor or something. You want to be out of the city, and the money will not be good, but you have some peace of mind. You have a play yard for your kids to run around and all that stuff. So basically, a new grad who finishes school today will earn more than me, who've been working as an RN in America for close to 4 years, because the COVID made them do a market adjustment. Nurses were leaving to travel nursing, and they were losing, and they're like, okay. So they did a market adjustment, and they raised the scale a little bit. So somebody who finished nursing school today, I saw one girl who finished nursing school 6 months, she earns $45 an hour. Just fresh grad from nursing school, 6 months, but she's in California as well. And others will say she's not being paid well and all. But here, when I started, I was being paid $28 an hour. Mind you, I bargained with my years experience that I had from Ghana. I had come in with about 7 years of nursing experience, I think. And I bargained with that. There are nursing ranks. The first rank is RN1, registered nurse 1, registered nurse 2, registered nurse 3. As I'm speaking today, I'm registered nurse 2, and I'm about to get my registered nurse 3. And that is a project you have to do. They don't just give it to you. You have to be in a committee. You have to do some research, paperwork, or something to get the next rank. Yeah, so basically, if you do the self-sponsorship and you get a direct hire job, you should not be taking anything less than $30, $32 to $35 an hour.
Yeah.
You can also come through an agency. I know others who came through agencies. As I said, they are bonded. They began them at $27 an hour, but now they are like $31 an hour. So just have the lowest expectation, because and just get in the country. When you get into the country, you can pick overtime. You have shift differential. If you work nights, you earn different. If you work weekends, holidays, you earn different.
Yeah.
Or you can pick another second job to manage your life. But whatever it is way better than where we come from. Because I know where we come, times are hard back home, wherever. So take that step today and you would not regret it. And after you build your skills, you can go with 2 years experience. You should be able to do travel nursing and be a confidence nurse when you go around.
All right. Thank you very much, Pricilla, for coming to share with us today. You have given us a lot to think about. I know I'm not a nurse, but a lot I can share with somebody who asks me, oh, yeah, and send them over to your channel. Again, our channel is called Pricilla Kumah RN, a very well-known channel to nurses, a lot of followers. And so we know she's sharing some really good information. And again, she has her consultancy where she can also advise you one-on-one on her, nursing experience and how you can get here in the United States. We appreciate you for coming to share with us today, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors, Pricilla. Thanks again for joining us. Any final words?
Okay, so whatever I would say is that others have done it. It's doable. You can do it. Don't do enough research. Speak to the right people. Don't even if you don't do it, the time is gonna pass. Oh, the whole process is gonna take me 2 years. Whether you do it or not, the 2 years is gonna pass, and you're gonna regret. So speak to like-minded people. Start this process one at a time. You don't need a chunk of money. If you're doing the whole process by yourself, it should cost you about $3,500 to do the whole paperwork, to write the examination and all that, minus the immigration. The recruiter handles the immigration. You don't pay for anything. Some of them even pay for your plane tickets and all that. You do not pay for your plane tickets. You only pay for the tickets for your kids and your companion. They only deal with the applicant. So whoever you are bringing to America with you, you would sponsor their visa fees. You will sponsor their plane ticket. You will buy your own house, rent your own car, and all that. But they'll bring you and get you a job. So start the process now. Don't give up. Nursing in America is very top notch. And if you want your career to go forward, come join us here.
All right. Thank you very much. And the plus for me is when you come here as a nurse, you come here on an EB3 visa, which is that permanent residency card, what we call the green card. So that is a plus. Yeah. So guys, thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time. If you have not subscribed to this platform as yet, go ahead and subscribe, turn your notification bells on. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share this video with a nurse you know is seeking an international nursing job in the United States. You can also find me on IG at Kicking with Dr. Brady.